We are loud, obnoxious, and completely inappropriate. Viewers' discretion is strongly advised. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Coffee Mug Show. This is episode 17, recorded live on March 25th, 2019. My name is Leonard, and I'm joined by three of my amazing co-hosts, Derek, Mark, and Chad. Hello, gentlemen.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey. So before we begin, if you guys are watching us live on YouTube and Twitch, our chat rooms are open, so please join us in our conversation. So let's talk about our first topic here. I think this is pretty interesting. It was last week's news. So Google finally announced Stadia is a cross-platform gaming streaming service. At this year's gaming development conference in San Francisco, Google unveiled Stadia. It's all-you-can-play gaming streaming service. It will be launched sometime this year, first in US, Canada, UK, and most of Europe. This service will let you play almost all computer games, streaming from Google's data centers to your device running Chrome browser, Chrome OS, and Chromecast Ultra plugged into your TV. No additional hardware required to run Stadia or install any additional software to play the games. You also have an option to have a Stadia controller for easy gaming. It looks like a typical controller, but includes two special buttons. The first button they call Capture. The button itself actually helps you start streaming straight to your YouTube. And the second button is it's called Assistant. It lets you use your voice for additional features. The control does have a built-in mic straight into the gamepad itself. So, Google finally released this. They actually been tempting people this since last year. They finally did it, but unfortunately, during the whole demo, none of the system was actually working. It was in a glass box. So officially, they released it. They're gonna release it this year, but no one had played it officially yet. And they're using all Google data centers to do all the rendering, all the processing, and streaming straight to your Google phone or any Chrome-related products. You think this is the new wave of gaming, or this has been done but it failed?
Oh, well, I mean...
Are you guys excited?
NVIDIA is doing it right now with the GeForce Now and with the NVIDIA Shield.
Any issue with lagging?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you.
Okay. So, is there any issues with lagging on the NVIDIA?
No, I play it all the time.
Yeah.
Even with the NVIDIA Shield. I can log into the GeForce Now and I play games. And it's basically, they render all the... all you need is to make sure you just have a really good internet connection. Yeah,
actually, some of the reporters were actually asking the VP of Stadia or whatever, the division. They said that you do need at least a gigabit to up and running. But when they asking about using this through LTE, they said it should work. Get 1080.
No, it should work, but again, it's like there could be some issues. Now, it also depends upon what games they're deciding to put on it, right?
Well, theoretically, they have Tomb Raider. No, sorry, I think it's Tomb Raider. Or I can't remember. It's pretty. Yeah, I think it's Tomb Raider. They already have it up and running, right? Chad?
Is it all PC-based games?
They said it's all PC-based games. No mobile version of the games. They're all PC-based games.
So you can play Half-Life 2?
Yeah.
Well,
Half-Life is already in the app, isn't it?
Well, again, it all depends upon what software that they have licensed. Are they going to, like, for example, GeForce Now allows you to link your Steam account to it. So any games that is on GeForce Now and you have it and you have a license for it and you purchased it through Steam, you can play it. So that's the thing. like, I mean, what else is like? Are they offering free games with this, or are you paying a monthly subscription to be able to play the games, or do you have to have the games already?
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Like, on my Nvidia Shield, there are a few games that I'm able to play for free. Batman Arkham Asylum, Tomb Raider, um, Sonic Hedgehog Racing. Like there's some Lego games. I can play that for free. But other titles like say Shadows of the Tomb Raider, I have to have purchased it through my Steam account to be able to play it.
Mm.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, to have the license for it, where they're going to get the profit out of, it's either going to be advertising or it's going to be the licensing piece, right? Or a subscription, I should say.
Yeah.
Because right now they haven't really said anything regarding how it's supposed to be monetized.
Well, my other question is that if it's in a glass box and they're like, hey, we're launching this, but we can't really show you what it does. I sort of sit back and go, were you really ready for this?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. They're like, okay, it's supposed to work, right? It's been tested, but they haven't really expanded the capabilities. They haven't really demoed it. They've been demoing it in a very controlled environment. So I don't think like I for me it's a great stepping stone for mobile gaming, especially if you don't want to buy a PC or a brand new like a hardware based gaming system.
No, I mean that's great. Like, that's the same thing. Like I said, that's what the whole NVIDIA GeForce Now is, right? It's this thing that you can play it on any machine, right? You don't have to have you can even play it on the crappiest laptops, and you will get 60 frames per second, like full, like very fluid gameplay.
Yeah, sorry.
I've tried it. I've tried it with so many like older video cards out on my system, and it works great. And I still get the 60 frames per second. And like I said, all that what's required is a really good a good internet connection.
Yeah, and they said that they can stream to your YouTube account 4K 60 frames. We'll see. It's not going to be a full 4K. If you stream 4K, you're screwed. 60 I can see, but pure 4K? There's no way. No way. But again, we'll see. I can't wait to see this. To be honest with you, I'm kind of excited to see this actually working, because it actually helped a lot of people who wants to go gaming, but they can't afford it. But this time they can.
Yeah, but if that's assuming that it's free or it's easy access or there's a low subscription fee or something like that, right?
Right now, how much is Nvidia streaming gaming?
Well, right now with the beta, it's free for now.
But how about Steam? How much is that? Do you know?
Steam, the actual Steam is like the Steam application is free. You just have to buy your games off of it.
And how much is normally? Is it the same box retail pricing?
Brand new, yeah, maybe slightly less. But what you get from Steam is, it can be drastically discounted at times for older games, especially. So they'll also bundle, right? They have like 2 times a year where they go on these massive sales, and so you get a bundle of games that you normally may not have bought for a cheap price twice a year, and it makes it worth your money, right?
Yeah, and like I mean, I was able to get all the Skyrims and the downloadable content for like $15, right? So yeah, that's what Steam is. Steam is just it's like an online store where you purchase all your games, and then when you install it, you just launch it from there.
Okay, if that's the case, I know Steam is like getting a lot of momentum regarding users and all that stuff, especially the games itself. It's being published straight to Steam.
The nice thing about Steam though is that when you buy the licensing, you own it. So as long as you're in your account, you own that game. You can put it on whatever you want, right? Whatever PC, as long as it's on your account, right?
Yeah.
So you own the rights to it. You can install it on 10 computers if you want. It's up to you, as long as you have the right to that.
So you think this is a viable alternative to Steam if it works?
Well,
no, because Steam is Steam is not a streaming service. Steam is where you purchase your games, and it's like your your iTunes account. You purchase your music and everything like that. You purchase your movies, but you can install it, and when you log into another computer, you still have access to it.
You're basically just getting the program without the CD, is what I'm saying, right?
So
you don't get the physical CD, but you get a downloadable content onto your computer.
Okay.
Is this for mobile too?
Oh, yeah, it's for mobile. Yeah. So anything that runs Chrome, anything that's Chrome OS, Chrome browser, and what was the other one? And Chromecast Ultra. So if you do have the old Chromecast, you do need to upgrade to the Ultra version to get to use Stadia.
So for mobile, you need the Google phone.
Yes, you do need a Google phone to have this running. It makes sense because Apple, you have to use Apple phones, right? So this one's the same thing. But again, I do like this. I would do want this to succeed. But of course, typical Google, they're probably gonna cancel this program or delete or cancel this this whole thing probably in 2 years from now. So typical Google fashion. They're just gonna as soon as it gets popular, they're just gonna just delete it, cancel it.
I'd like to know more what their library is going to be
In day
before
one.
I make a decision.
Yeah.
Before I make a decision.
Yeah, same here. See, I'm not a gamer, but I do want this. I do want to see it how it works. Technology-wise, it's just pretty cool. But yeah. So, and any last thoughts before we move on?
It's a wait and see for me.
Wait and see. Would you get it though if it goes in? If it goes out? If it comes out?
I don't know. Like again, it all depends upon what I see on it. Like I mean, I like I said, I've used GeForce Now. Am I using it often? No, because I can actually play my games the way I want to play them on my main computer, right? So,
how about you, Derek?
Well, I do use Steam. I'm not as big of a gamer as Mark, but I do like Steam. I think it's nice to own the product. In other words, you don't have to run the risk of damaging it. If your computer dies on you, you still have the rights to the game. You can still download it. For the streaming piece, though, I'm not as interested in it. I think unless you have a wicked internet speed or in regards to upload and download times, I would not want to be playing a game, be in a critical moment, and have my internet glitch for whatever reason, and then you just spent however long building up a game or playing in a game, and then in a critical moment, it gets laggy. Like to me, that would be just really angering.
Yeah. How about you, Chad?
I like the idea of it. I'd like to see what's more to come first.
So no one will pull the trigger until like a year later.
No, we're gonna wait until the 2-year mark until they cancel it and be like, "Yeah, I was right not to do that." Yeah.
Well, FYI, if you guys are using the inbox from Google, they did cancel that.
Yeah.
Typical Google fashion. They are canceling things again. Okay, guys, let's go straight to the next topic here. I think this is the exciting part. Everyone's finally caught up, so we're going to be talking about Captain Marvel. So
yeah, I know you guys have been waiting for me.
So
a little while.
A few weeks, yeah.
What do you mean a few weeks? It's only been out for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. So Captain Marvel. Okay, who wants to? Okay, you know what? Chad, myself, and Derek already saw it. We talked about it among ourselves. So we're gonna ask Mark first. What do you think? Honest truth.
Why me first?
Because you're the last one.
You're the last one.
So you're the last one. So tell us what you think.
I enjoyed it, and it was a good movie. I wouldn't say it was a great movie, but it was an interesting take of the origin story for Captain Marvel.
Okay, without comparing, because I heard people comparing this movie from Wonder Woman. You can't for us to make it a proper review, we cannot compare. Just letting you guys know, we cannot compare both.
Well, you
They're
can't.
they're two different stories.
Yeah, exactly. But people are complaining.
Two different characters, two definitely different companies, right? So, yeah, I don't know why people are complaining.
Yeah. So, okay.
It's like you're trying to compare Batman and Wolverine.
Oh, I agree. No, I'm just saying people are comparing both of them, and my argument is you can't compare them. You just can't. There's no way you can compare them. So, but yeah.
You know, I think you can compare the actresses in regards to, you know, maybe their performance in regards to how they were, but the plots and stuff, I think that's unfair.
Yeah, but here's the thing: the only other time I saw Brie Larson was in Scott Pilgrim. That's it.
Okay.
So for me, what from the way she portrayed Carol Danvers, like her character and everything like that, I'm like, it wasn't bad at all. Like I mean, I didn't mind her performance at all. Like I mean, she's a amnesiac who doesn't know where she come from, whatever, and trying to piece things together, and then she kicks ass at the end. So.
You know, for acting chops, though, we're talking about Brie Larson is an Academy Award-winning actress, though.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, she is.
Oh, she is. I'm sorry, I did.
So, if you're looking at acting chops, I do like them both as actors. But her portrayal as Captain Marvel was really, really good. I really liked her. It was a great casting. I really do like her there. Yeah, it was great.
I was surprised that Annette Bening was in it.
Yeah, I was surprised too.
See, that's the thing. Because for me, if it's a brand new origin movie and I know there's some big hype to it, I try not to look into it, like into who's in it and try to like whatever people are putting on as rumors and all that stuff. So I was surprised with some of the actors and actresses. I knew Jude Law was in it. Yeah. It was great to see Lee Pace again, as Ronin. And I keep forgetting his name. The black guy.
Samuel L. Jackson.
No, not that guy.
Oh, what's his name? The French actor.
Umiji.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can never pronounce his name properly.
Yeah.
Well, well, according to Platinum, the cat was better than Brie.
What? Sorry?
According to Platinum, the cat Goose is way better than Brie.
I love the cat.
Wow, that sucks.
The cat was great. It was great.
Okay, I'm sorry, but the cat thing could have been. They could have just used any other. They could have just made it into more of an actual alien. Like, I know it's an alien, but not make it look like a cat.
They do need something to show Nick Fury's losing his eyes. So the cat was perfect, in my opinion.
Yeah, but isn't that the big plot hole?
From day one, yeah.
So when Captain America asked him how he lost his eye, he goes, he lost an eye to somebody he trusted.
Yes.
And it was the cat. That's the whole point.
It was great. It's awesome. Best thing ever.
No, I would have wanted something like something more. I don't know.
Okay, how about you, Derek? Good, the bad, the ugly.
I think I enjoyed the Nick Fury and the cat thing. I enjoyed that a lot. I can understand his point about wanting to see something different in regards to how he lost his eye. But in all honesty, I still liked it. I mean, I thought, it wasn't some big thing. It was sort of the underlying joke of the movie. Do I think that Brie Larson's performance was amazing? No, I wouldn't say that. I would say that it was good. But as a character, I felt it was very, very, there was no up and down with the character. You didn't really feel her development. She played the character very even the entire movie. And I think if you look at Wonder Woman, and I'm so bad with names. What's her name?
Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
I think she had emotion in there when she was doing. You could see her struggles as she was adjusting and so forth, emotionally and so forth. And Brie Larson just had a very emotionless performance.
Okay,
there wasn't a lot of emotion in there.
Do you think she's getting a lot of pressure because it is a Marvel movie and she's portraying a very iconic character?
I believe so.
I'm
But
sorry.
here's the thing. I don't. Okay. Here's the.
Uh,
I don't think. Okay, so Captain Marvel, yes, has been around for a while, right? But is it an iconic character like the X-Men, Fantastic Four? No. I would say Captain Marvel was one of the, you know, um, on the B team of things, right? And you can just tell by the how they were portrayed, like even in the history of comics, right? Um, there's and people don't forget, people have also gotten confused between both Captain Marvels between DC and um, Marvel itself, right?
Chad, you were saying something?
Well, I did like the performance. So, what I liked about them doing the movie is they brought a non-mainstream character to the mainstream.
Okay.
She does have different personas. She's also known as Miss Marvel, and it's a completely different outfit. And she is in the top 5 of the most powerful Marvel characters.
See, but if you hadn't told me that, I wouldn't have known.
She can defeat Thanos.
But here's the thing. Then that's probably the reason she's in the movie, and probably why they brought the character. It brings up other questions, as to Nick Fury and so forth. When all the other stuff was going on Earth, it's like, you can text her, she'll come. She's like better than any of them. Like I look at plot holes in regards to doing that.
Yeah,
that I
but
find
don't
very
forget,
interesting.
but Miss Marvel is not Captain Marvel. Miss Marvel is was a counterpart. Like it was the female counterpart to Captain Marvel.
Okay.
Right? So even that, Marvel, that threw me off. They made Marvel as female when Marvel was actually a male character.
Yeah.
Right?
So what threw me off was the Skrulls, because they're known for taking on whoever they can see, and yet you come across these refugee, and you cannot trust the Skrulls. So when they start to act nice or neutral, I kind of question that, because they have a big role in taking over the Marvel universe.
Mm-hmm.
So, Trax XP from the chat room. Can we say hi to my friend Jack Joff? It's his birthday.
Happy birthday, Jack.
Happy birthday, Jack. And welcome.
Welcome, Jack.
Well, again, yeah. So going back to the Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel naming, like Carol Danvers was Miss Marvel, then took the mantle of Captain Marvel after Marvel died. So,
well, here's the thing, though. Okay, chat room. Here's a question I have to ask for you guys in the chat room. Do you guys think you think there was a better actress to play Captain Marvel instead of Lee? What's her name? Brie.
I mean, there could have been.
Yeah, there was a lot of people being name dropped when this character was being developed.
I wonder what I hope that the decision-making process didn't go through, and they line them up in a room, and it's like, who's the most attractive or something to that effect. That wasn't one of their overriding decision-making processes, and not that she hasn't done some great work or something, but like I said before, when I see a performance of somebody who's emotionless the entire way, there's only two explanations for that. Either the director is directing the actress to be like that, or her performance is poor to the point where you don't see much in the way of any character development. I mean, yes, she gets her powers, yes, she does that, but there's not a lot of emotion to her. She's very,
The thing is, I think this is where they made a slight mistake on the direction of her origin. When we first see her, she already has her powers. She's already with the Kree. She and all she's thinking is like, okay, so what are these dreams that I'm having? What do they mean? Who is this person? So she again, she's not only is she a fighter pilot, that has to have, like, sometimes, you have to be cold, have ice in your veins to be, and everything like that. Then she wakes up and she's with the Kree, and they train her to be a soldier. So what's the character really? How can they really develop this character to knowing, like, okay, well, the only way that they could really say anything is like, oh, all my memories are coming back, and yeah, what I thought was real wasn't, which was the case, and here I go, and now I just have to make a decision. So if they did it in a different way, I think we would see a better character development than just her coming into the line and saying, okay, I got this dream. What does this dream mean? I'm sent on a mission, I get captured, and then, okay, are these things that I'm seeing in my head real, or did the scroll put it in my head? And then she crash lands in a freaking blockbuster, right? She's
That's
totally,
actually my favorite part.
she which is, no, the best part was when she blew off, Jamie Lee Curtis and Arnold Schwarzenegger, the True Lies poster.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? And then she crash lands into a friggin' blockbuster. She's on Earth, and she's like, okay, where the hell am I?
Yeah.
Right? And then she starts piecing everything together. So to me, it was more the whole movie. It's all about confusion for her,
Well,
right? Like, she doesn't know. She doesn't know who to trust. She doesn't know. It's like, okay, what am I doing here?
well, here's a question for you guys though. Is it the original origin story? Was there an original origin story of her before the
Yeah,
movie?
there is.
Was it
Carol
released?
Danvers was, like I said, Carol Danvers was Miss Marvel. She got her powers from Kree technology, right? And then when Marvel died, she just took up the mantle because Captain America said that, well, Captain Marvel would want you to have that same mantle. She became That's how she became Captain Marvel in the actual comic books,
Okay.
right? So it's not like
So they jazzed it up for the plot and so forth because that wasn't exciting, right? I gotta say, for the switch or the reversal, I saw that coming, even not knowing that much about this Marvel's movies and so forth. Just knowing that the Kree, were bad and usually, generally speaking, and that she was different. So I figured there was something there. So when the reversal actually comes, you're not entirely shocked.
well, I mean, if you don't know the story of the Kree, then there will be that surprise factor. But for us who's followed Marvel and followed comic books, and we all, like, a lot of people already knew that the Kree are these conquering planets, and they want to just, if they don't find a planet fit for them, they're going to destroy it, right?
You think?
I think what I'm
sorry, go
looking
ahead, Sean.
forward to is they brought Captain Marvel into. They did the origin story because of what she's going to eventually be. Which, if they do it correctly, she'll end up being the leader of the Guardians. If they do it correctly.
What's the chance of that going to happen though?
Well, we don't know because James Gunn just got rehired back, so they're gonna do number 3. But I don't know what the direction is going back from it, because they're gonna try to finish off that trilogy.
Okay. Sorry, Mark, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just here on the chat line.
Okay, while you're reading that, well, here's a question for all of you guys plus the chat room. You think this whole thing, all this happening for the next Avenger Endgame, you think Captain Marvel will be a very, like, pinnacle to the whole storyline itself, or
Yeah.
she's just gonna be a character that's gonna be like butting heads against Captain America and
Not
No,
necessarily Captain America, Iron Man.
oh, she's gonna
I
butt
don't. No, you know what? No, she's gonna be very. She's gonna be very. Again, she's gonna be integral to the whole situation. Remember, she's one of the most powerful people in the universe, like in the Marvel universe. Can she take on Thanos? Yes, she can. Um, what her actual role is, we're not sure. There's also talk about another threat that's coming, and a lot of people are saying it's not Thanos, right?
No, it's not.
So, um, she got paid. She shows up. She's looking for Nick Fury, and that little Endgame trailer with Thor and her. How Thor's trying to psych her out.
Yeah, that's
She
awesome.
doesn't.
That was
She
pretty
doesn't
cool.
flinch, and Thor's like, okay, I like this girl. So
Yeah. Because well, theoretically, half the people in the Avengers contract is over after this movie, right? You think
yeah,
they're-
like Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth. Who else is leaving?
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt's done
No,
too.
Chris Pratt. No. Chris
No?
Pratt still has Guardians of the Galaxy #3.
And then he's
It's
gonna do
it's
Jurassic
Robert Downey
World.
Jr.
Sorry, Chad, what were you
Rob-
saying?
Well, he's also focusing on Jurassic World.
Oh,
Yeah,
God,
but-
again.
But he says he's in #3. He's happy
Yeah.
that James Gunn is back, and he's under contract to do 3 Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Yeah.
So Robert Downey Jr.'s done. I'm not sure about Scarlett Johansson.
She's doing a one-off.
Is she? How about what's
Are
the
they,
name?
are they giving her her own movie? Or?
They better.
Yeah.
I want to see her origin.
They pretty much played out her origin story already, with all the flashbacks, and it's like what they said about Mark Ruffalo and the Hulk. His trilogy and his end story wasn't really like his main story was actually really in Thor Ragnarok, and it's going to come down to what happens at the end of Endgame, right?
Mhm.
So they did it that route so that they didn't have to make another Hulk movie. But yeah, Jane Foster might make an appearance.
Again. Oh yeah. Okay.
So
for a certain reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the reason of doing this though? Because officially,
Who was Jane Foster? What are we talking about?
Natalie
Natalie
Portman.
Portman from Thor 1 and 2.
Oh, okay. All right. I get you. Okay.
She's supposed to be the next Thor.
Really?
Okay.
Sorry.
Why are you telling me this? Like, I don't want to know. I want to go to
No.
the movie.
Well, okay, actually, Chad,
No.
what's
It's a-
the origin of that one
Comic
though?
books.
Like,
No, it's all of the comics. There's more than one person to carry Mjolnir, right? And who became Thor. Well, Mjolnir now is destroyed, and they got Stormbreaker. So, there's been more than one Thor. There was even a Thor that was a frog. So,
Frog.
yeah, Throg. Sorry. But- So there's that. So
yeah. Well, how about you, Chad? What do you think about the movie?
What's coming?
No, what do you think about the movie itself?
I thought it was good overall. I just expected more from the Skrulls because I know they're coming and they have a big part in their takeover.
Takeover of.
Don't encourage it.
Earth.
No.
okay, what's going on?
Well,
It's all up in question if they follow the path that
okay.
comics do.
Okay. Speaking of path, though, good question for all three of you guys. You think
Mhm.
Marvel did a good job following the comic books itself, based on their abilities of trying to follow it?
I can't
Not
answer that. These
100%.
guys don't have to answer that.
Not 100%.
Is that?
Well, we can't say 100%. We're talking about like the
50%.
essence. The feel of it.
There's been some big holes and disappointments.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I mean, Wolf, the Wolverine origin movie.
That didn't
But
happen.
that's actually, you know what? That's not actually Marvel. That's not the MCU. That's actually Fox, right? In regards to the actual, if you just take a look at the 10 years of the MCU, not including the Fox movies, they did right by Captain America. Thor, they did right by. I mean, really, he was born a god, so there's nothing really much of an origin there. Iron Man. it was a different take, but it still held a little bit of the it's the it tried it didn't break the road, but it just did a little curve to it. You know what I mean? Guardians of the Galaxy, again, it's one of those, they tried to stay true to it, but it's difficult with all those characters and all the and the different forms of the Guardians. Avengers, they changed the costumes a lot. But then again, the thing is also they couldn't I believe there's also some restrictions of certain words and certain things that they can say or couldn't say because of rights being belonging to Sony and Fox.
So in other words, it's very political. That's why they couldn't really make it the best it can.
So when you look at Scarlet Witch,
her accent changed like 4 times.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, the twins. They're actually the daughters, the kids of Magneto, right? But they couldn't say that. They also weren't known as mutants. They were genetically changed. You know what I mean? Like they couldn't say the word mutants because the word mutant and that whole thing about mutants in X-Men belonged to Fox, so they couldn't say that.
And that's why they couldn't use Silver Surfer in Infinity War.
Yeah.
Because he falls through the mansion and not Hulk.
Yeah. Infinity War, there's a lot. Like pretty much all the Marvel characters were part of the Infinity War. But they just couldn't say anything. They couldn't make change. Like, you know, there were some restrictions. However, because of this week and the changeover is now complete between Disney and Fox, hey, they could use the word mutant anytime that they want to now.
Derek, you've been quiet.
Yeah. Deadpool can kill everybody now.
Just listening to the backstory here because this is stuff I don't actually know.
They can actually do the Deadpool kills everybody movie now.
Yep, or the Deadpool and Wolverine movie.
Yeah. So in other words, there's a lot of potentials when they fix all this licensing issues is done.
Well, you know what? Again, it's like with anything that you take from a book and you put it on screen. There's so much that you can. There's so much information in the comic books and same thing, but there's only so little time that you can put it on screen, right? If you take a look at the X-Men origin stories, right? X-Men First Class. Well, X-Men First Class wasn't what you saw in the movies. X-Men First Class was actually Jean Grey, Cyclops, the Beast, Storm, and Iceman.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Not Banshee, not Havoc, you know, Mystique and all that stuff. So there's so many things that went wrong with that. So, you know, so I don't know. Like I want to see it. I'm actually going to be watching it. Hopefully, I'll be able to watch it even before on the Thursday instead of the Friday.
See, this is what happens when Marvel Studios don't email Mark and I. Because then they get it wrong.
Yeah.
Consulting fee in this one, right, guys?
Yeah. But but the thing is, I've enjoyed all the movies, regardless of how left field they've gone with their origin stories or how left field they've gone through of the actual stories. It's just enjoyment. Like I just enjoy watching comic book movies because it's something I've been waiting for so long. Right?
So have you seen Titans on Netflix?
I've watched the first episode, and I don't really have time to really sit down and watch and binge watch, but I want to watch Titans. I saw the first episode, and it's so weird because it's Titans and not Teen Titans, and I'm seeing these guys as adults that are kids. Well, Raven's the only kid there, but
it's so well done. I think it's actually better than movie quality.
So okay, let's talk about that then. You think Netflix is doing a way better job doing
Right now,
Marvel?
yes.
Oh,
Like
sorry, DC. DC.
even outside Marvel and DC, they've done an awesome job with Umbrella Academy.
Yeah. Well, again, it all depends upon the writers, and I can't. I've heard great reviews about Daredevil, The Punisher, Jessica Jones,
Yeah.
Luke Cage. You know, it's unfortunate that they canceled them all, and I understand why they canceled them all, because Disney's launching their own streaming service,
Yeah.
right? So
Well, this
I
is
wonder actually how Disney's collection of their own online service is going to shift the market, because Disney is going to be very stringent to their copyrights, and a lot of these guys that had a lot of content otherwise, Disney has been scooping it up like crazy. So there's not going to be a lot of more original content, and Disney will basically say, hey, come to my streaming service or you don't get to watch it, right?
well, because right now it's been reported from last year that Disney's trying to finish off all their contracts in Netflix and other streaming, so they can actually compile them all and start broadcasting their own. That's why after I think Amazon has, no, sorry, Netflix has Solo. As soon as that contract is done, that's it for any Disney movies. I know they already yanked out all the Disney cartoons from all the
No, they
streaming
haven't.
sites. They haven't?
no,
Yeah, it's probably this year then, and this year.
no,
Probably.
because there's still Disney shows on Netflix as well, on both U.S. and the Canadian Netflix.
Okay, but they
Plus-
said they are planning to take them all out soon. That's what I heard.
But you've seen this year where Netflix is doubling down on shows. Like, you have so many Netflix shows coming out. They are doubling down because they need to replace that content they're losing. So
Well, don't forget though, the content that they're losing, they had to pay for. So for them, in a sense, they create their own, they make their own shows. Like even if they lose all this Disney content, they got their actual shows, that's been sustaining them for a long time already. And I don't think it's going to take they're going to take a hit, because again, people are already invested in these series that they have, that if the Disney stuff disappears, they're going to still go to Netflix, because, well, why am I just going to watch Disney shows for Disney, right? All you're going to get is the Marvel stuff, the Star Wars stuff, and the Disney stuff. So
You think they're gonna do brand new content?
Netflix? Well,
No, I
see,
mean Disney. Sorry, Disney.
yeah, well, Disney will, but between Netflix and Disney, they're essentially eroding the old network model is dead. Any network that doesn't get that, like CBS, NBC, they're fighting for survival here, right? And getting their own original shows again and so forth. But with Netflix, they've taken over so much of the marketplace that when Disney comes in, that'll be the nail in the coffin for these other
Traditional broadcasts.
traditional broadcasters, because they can create new content and they can put stuff out, but the way their business model is that you're going to pay $80-$90 a month for cable or whatever, that's just it's a dead model. It's been dead for 15 years, for God's sake.
Yeah. Well, good luck, Disney.
Well, Netflix is in its own trouble too.
Yeah, like
They've
explain.
lost a lot of money. Well, they've lost a lot of money.
From who though? Is this subscription going down, or is just?
I think they paid $600 million to get Friends.
Oh yeah, I saw first that season stop.
Hey, that was a good investment. I love Friends.
oh, trust me, a lot of you know what? If you actually look at the if we can ever just find the stats, honestly, Friends, a lot of people watch Friends.
Oh yeah.
They did not lose money. They did not lose money on that.
Okay, do you have you guys seen any advertising online or even just traditional broadcasts regarding Netflix shows or even Amazon shows on like on Facebook or anything like that? I personally haven't seen it, so I'm just wondering if they're actually
I've
advertising.
seen more for Amazon than Netflix.
Yeah.
I think Netflix does their own internal promotions mostly within their service.
Mhm.
It's not that they don't release trailers on YouTube and so forth, and that's where usually I consume it, is YouTube. But they take the model of, if you're on our service, we're going to show you the content on our service rather than going out and paying a lot of other people to promote their work, right? Because I think if you're on our service, you want to just use our service and consume it. And although a lot of people do have multiple services, I don't think usually if somebody's on Netflix, they have a lot of other services, which is why I wonder what's going to happen when Disney finally launches their service, and if they're going to cut into Netflix's user base or not.
I don't think so. Honestly, I don't think so. And I think that Netflix will still keep, I mean, they're going to lose some subscribers, but they're going to keep the majority of the subscribers. It won't really hit their bottom line. Again, people have been invested in a lot of the Netflix series already.
Yeah. Like right now,
they're not.
Go ahead.
They're not going to stop and switch over to Disney just because for a few movies. Yeah. Well, right? They have it and they're invested in it.
Because Platinum says that they seen Netflix like being advertised on Facebook, so that's good. But for me, I see a lot of Amazon shows being advertised in, again, Facebook, YouTube, a lot on YouTube, and the good thing about in Amazon, sometimes if you watch like 2 shows in a row, they actually give you a trailer for another show, right? So the reason why I figured that out is I actually binge watched Baywatch for the first 3 seasons. After the third season, the whole thing dropped. So if you want a good Baywatch seasons, go watch 1 and 2. 3 is an iffy. But the pinnacle of Baywatch is actually 1 and 2. I'm just letting you guys know.
When did you do this? When did you watch this?
About a month ago, I binge watched it. It's a soundtrack, okay? I went for the montage of the 80s music. It was amazing. It was awesome.
Are you just looking at the montage of the opening trailer?
No, the opening trailer is actually not like that. It actually became the iconic trailer until after season 4. When Pamela Anderson showed up. I learned that up because I got all the way to season 3 when she showed up.
He's like, I want to see it. Keep on watching. I don't see the opening yet.
To be honest with you, after watching a couple of episodes of season 3, that's when I said, okay, that's it. That's when it dropped. The quality went down the hill after that. So at least I gave it a chance. But yeah, going back to my story here, you do see trailers and shows that you haven't seen before. Like for me, I was been watching Man in High Castle, and I saw a bunch of ads for different shows for Amazon, and I started looking at Amazon's movie categories or the show categories. Their stuff. It's actually not bad. I'm actually like making sure that I actually do watch some shows on Netflix and some shows on Amazon, just going half and half when I have time, right? So. Plus, it's easier to download the movies in Amazon. You just click on season 1, for example, and download the whole thing without doing 1 by 1. That's a benefit. So,
I don't generally find, though, there's much content on Amazon that I care for. Not that they don't have things on there. Not that it isn't interesting, but I have Prime. I think a bunch of us have Prime. And, you can go on and find a series, but I haven't gone on there to say, I need to watch this show. I've never done that with Amazon.
Yeah, and I feel the same way. I've gone out to Amazon Prime, and I'm like, the only thing I'm interested in watching is the Jack Ryan.
Yes, that's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good.
Other than that, it's like, hey, look at that movie. It's not on Netflix. Let me just.
Yeah, that's what I do. That's what
I really want to watch this movie.
Like for me, I do the same thing too. I check Netflix first. If there's nothing there, there's a good chance Amazon will have it. Because right now, actually, there was a report that came out, not a report, but an article came out a few weeks ago that Amazon is actually priming themselves to be the sci-fi network or the sci-fi streaming.
It's so funny you say that because
it's kind of like weird.
When I went in, I looked at Amazon and I first got Prime. I went in and looked at all the movie listings. The way I judge a service is what kind of sci-fi content they have on it, and they didn't have anything on there. Not
Firefly now.
It's like you go on and you're like, there's nothing on here, and so to me, that's a clear sign that the service isn't ready to go. So you're saying they're going to be the sci-fi? I mean, I don't believe you. Really
well, surprisingly, they do have Firefly, so I watch my Fireflies there now instead of Netflix. And yeah, if you haven't been back to Amazon, definitely check them out. It's actually, I'm every time I go back, there's more and more stuff they're putting in, more and more sort of like I'm getting very impressed regarding their selections. And right, sometimes I see myself going straight to Amazon instead of Netflix.
And if Amazon wants to sponsor us, hey.
Yeah, heck, you're just like down the street from me. Your Canadian office.
Well, no, the fulfillment center's in Brampton. They got another fulfillment center here in Mississauga. Their actual main office is at Bremner Street.
Yeah, their corporate office is downtown, but all their IT guys and marketing, I think, is in Mississauga, I think. But anyway, but yeah, that's where I'm coming from. So, Captain Marvel, thumbs up, thumbs down. Can't wait to see the next movie.
Thumbs up.
Derek?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Good. That's good to hear. Well, do you guys want to talk about anything else? I have like 10 minutes.
Let's talk about you watching Baywatch.
Okay. Let's go back. Okay, the reason why I ended up watching Baywatch is because they keep showing up. Because I ended up watching the remake version with The Rock. So I watched that. It's one of those guilty pleasure that you watch it, you just laugh your head off, and that's it. And
I know what you mean, because I actually enjoyed watching the one with The Rock.
Yeah, I have a man crush with The Rock. So anything him in it, I'll watch it. But except Fast and the Furious, there's no way I'm gonna watch that shit. But
why not?
I can't do it.
So you're not gonna watch Hobbs and Shaw? Hobbs and Shaw, it's just him and Jason. That's it.
I don't know. We'll see.
I can't watch Jason.
What are you guys? What? Okay, never mind. I'm not.
But yeah. So after watching the remake, I told myself, okay, when it shows up again in like Netflix or Amazon, I want to watch it, see how far I can go before I actually said, okay, I'm done. So yeah, after when Pamela Anderson showed up, that's when the whole thing I stopped watching. So I couldn't do it. I really couldn't do it after that.
When she shows up is when you stopped watching.
Okay, I do have some standards regarding acting, okay, and quality of the show. That's where I draw the line.
Your choice to look at this was Baywatch.
Yes, I was scared. Watch it. Just be curious and watch it. People from the chat room, go watch it. Just go watch it. That's all I can say. If you guys have Amazon Prime, watch at least the first 2 seasons. You won't regret it. Just saying. It is in the early 90s.
This is how we are all silent on this.
I know.
I've got ironing to do.
Oh, really?
Chad would rather iron. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it for the end, guys. So I just want to let you guys know, starting tomorrow, Chad and I will actually have our first brand new show with both him and I. It's called The Jays Talk. It's all about the Blue Jays, the good, the bad, and the ugly about it. So you can join us, join us in our chat room starting tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. And after that, you can actually get the podcast right after the next day. And we'll be showing this in repeat as well in our YouTube channel. So, but yeah, if you're a big Blue Jays fans, join us. We're going to just destroy the Jays if they actually screw up this year again. So it's gonna be fun.
Of course, they're gonna screw it up.
It's Christmas again.
It's Christmas again. Yeah. So, so thank you guys for joining us. If you are as you know, we do record this podcast live on YouTube and Twitch every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So if you click the subscribe button, you'll get notification when we go live or upload new content. You can also download this episode or any other episode at your favorite podcast application. Just search for Radio9 Podcasting Network. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next week at the Coffee Mug Show here at the Radio9 Podcast. Good night, guys.
Good night,
See,
man.
I didn't screw up that much.